You want to see something cool?
Sure.
This button right here?
Yeah.
Watch this.
Are you making that noise?
No, that's the portal. That's the Halloween portal.
What is that? What is that? What is the Halloween portal?
It's our new sponsor. Anytime I hit that button right there, we get instant access to where the Halloween portal is, or what's going on in the Halloween portal. I can do it again if you want to say something else.
All right, one more time.
All right, one more time.
Ready?
How could you? Her mommy's dead. Jamie's mommy's a mummy. Stop it, okay? Stop it! Jamie's an orphan. Jamie's an orphan. Jamie, please stop it. Jamie's an orphan.
Is that part 4?
That's part 4. So don't let me touch that button again. You never know what you're going to find. Hey, I think I actually had one of those Halloween costumes that those kids had. It was pretty good.
Really?
I think I had the mask one. Anyway, one was Frankenstein, one was the guy from Mask. Which I never understood why they didn't make a movie off of the guys from Mask, because it was so cool. It was guys that would have these special helmets that they would put on and give them special powers. Mm-hmm. And they drove awesome vehicles that was a Camaro that could fly and a 18-wheeler that could do stuff. It would have been an awesome movie. They should make it today.
Isn't that cartoon?
Yes.
Yeah, you showed me.
He's Noah. I'm Ronnie. All the good names are taken. Day 20. Noah.
Day 20.
If I accidentally call you Blake, just act like I didn't.
All right.
Today, we're talking 2000. Is it 14, 16? Do you know?
It's 14, I think.
2014's horror movie, Annabelle, about the little doll that doesn't move.
No.
It's very scary.
No, it's not.
Let's get into it with a little bit of history about this first. There was a woman, I think her name was Donna, and this Raggedy Ann doll was gifted to her. Mm-hmm. And over the years, her and another chick named Angie started experiencing weird things from this doll. Like they would wake up the next day and the doll would be in a different spot in the other room. Sometimes it would be in the bed. Sometimes it would be slumped over. Sometimes it would be in the kitchen. And oozing through the vent covers. It started to creep them out a little bit. Eventually, they did one of those seance things that they tell you never to do. Like in every horror movie you do, anytime you bring the seance in there, it's horrible stuff happens. Mm-hmm. And they got one of these BS artists to do the Ouija board or whatever it's called. They learned that there was a spirit of a young girl named Annabelle Higgins inside this doll. So the two women in their infinite wisdom said, you know what? It's okay if you live here. You can live here with us. A few months later, one of the dudes they had coming in and out of that place, he woke up paralyzed, and he said the doll was at his feet, and then the doll crawled up his body and then tried to strangle him until he passed out. He said he woke up the next morning. My question to you is, how does he know that wasn't a dream?
He was being strangled by it?
It's strangling him with them little arms.
What if he had woke up with marks right here?
You've never seen Full Metal Jacket, have you?
I saw the first half.
Yeah, where he says,
turn it off.
Yeah, he says, choke yourself, pal. And that guy does right here. So they keep the doll around. One day, this guy's name was Lou. Lou walks into a room after hearing some noise, and Annabelle's in a different place again. And then he feels this sharp pain in his chest, and he sees blood coming through his shirt. So he takes his shirt off and sees he's got claw marks really deep, bleeding. And then a few days later, the claw marks had already healed, but there were already old scars there. So you've seen the Conjuring movies. You know about Ed and Lorraine Warren. These are the biggest liars, some of the biggest liars in the history of the world. They go places and they get rid of spirits, okay? So they called in Ed and Lorraine. Ed and Lorraine come in. They say it's best if we just take the doll off your hands. It's haunted. On the way home, apparently the doll goes nuts and starts making Ed swerve all over the road. Now, granted, nobody was there to verify this story of whether it happened or not, but Ed and Lorraine, they're really trustworthy. They've done all this stuff that nobody's ever seen before. So they take it back to their house. A priest supposedly blesses the doll, and it wasn't but a few weeks later that other stuff started happening, and the Warrens had to assemble this huge cabinet that if you go online, you can see where the Raggedy Ann doll is being stored right now in the Ed and Lorraine Warren Museum. So that's the story. Now, this one, I'm going to let you take the lead because Noah is going to give us his top 5 best or favorite moments. I can't remember what I told you about this movie. And then I'll throw in what I think about this movie as we go along. I will say this positively. Positively? Did I say that right or no?
I think you said it right. Positively.
Positively, if I could be positive about this movie for a second, it made a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
And part 2, if you've ever seen it, the ending of part 2 works into the beginning of this movie seamlessly. You're like, oh, that's who that person is. Whoa! They've done a really good job at doing that. Like this whole Conjuring universe, say what you will about it, it works. Some of these movies are good. Some of these movies are not so good. But I found some of the movies that are not so good, the way they tie back into the other movies actually make them good. Does that make sense or not?
It makes sense.
All right. Would you overall, before we get to your favorite parts, what did you think about this movie?
In my opinion, it wasn't the best. I didn't really think it was that scary at all. This might sound weird, but I don't understand the point of the doll.
Okay, so let me break it down to you. The demon has to have a host, and the demon is using the doll as its host.
All right.
Because you throw it and it comes back to you.
Because the girl, what's her name? Annabelle Riggins or whatever?
Higgins,
my bad. And she, what's the thing? They need a soul so they can be lifted up or whatever.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, it ended up being.
Edit.
I can't say. But overall, I didn't really like it. It didn't intrigue me at all. Don't hit the button.
Really? You didn't like this movie?
Not really. I mean,
what does this young generation look for in horror movies? I mean, what's without saying like the old classics that we have forced you to watch or your dad has forced you to watch, what could a new horror movie do to get you to want to watch it? Obviously, you're not into these haunting movies because this Annabelle doll didn't float your boat. So what are you looking for?
well, I mean, I feel like it could float my boat if there was more. I just need to watch the other ones, I guess. Is the second one better to you?
Well, I don't think so. I think I was just more like intrigued. It's the same movie. I thought I was just more because it's a prequel. I thought I was just like more intrigued of how they tied it. See, I'm a simpleton. Like at the end when they go, oh, guess who this person was in this movie that turned out to be in this movie? And I'm like, ah! So, I mean, I think the last thing that I leave the movie theater on, if it's a positive note, I'm like, hey, this is great. Now answer my question. What is the young generation looking for in horror movies? You better not say that Terrifier crap either.
I've never seen them. It's too gory.
Turn a dude upside down and start sawing at the.
Yeah, I know. I seen the video. I saw a clip. Like I said, I don't think it was that scary. I don't know. Maybe put more jump scares in. I don't know. I was saying that. I look at my moments. There was a good bit of jump scares. I don't know. It wasn't scary at all to me. I love to be scared in a horror movie.
Why you mad?
I ain't mad.
All right, let's get to it. Your number. Wait, are these in order?
Or
is it just 5?
No, just 5. No particular order.
All right, hit me with the first one.
My first one, I have the scene where it's Annabelle lady as a little girl, and she's like running. She starts sprinting, and the door's shut, and she like opens the door and she turns into the woman.
Yes.
The jump scare. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, it's like she looks over. Yeah, she looks over into the other room and sees like a little girl in the room.
Yeah.
And the little girl starts running towards her bedroom, and then all of a sudden, like, boom!
It bursts open the door, and she's the woman now.
Yeah, it's the ugly bee from the beginning of the movie. It runs in there trying to get her. I think my favorite part, or maybe one of the creepier parts to me, Noah, is the very beginning of it, because we're talking about a time period where everybody slept with their windows open, especially in small town USA's, and their doors unlocked. Yeah, and for that woman, Mia, I think is her name in the movie, to wake up at the exact time that we see like these two scumbags storm the house of their neighbors, and then those lights go out. That's like super creepy. That's like one of the creepiest scenes in the movie to me. And then she sends her husband over there because he thinks he heard something, and he finds the bodies. And then all of a sudden, I guess they're supposed to be like the Manson family, two people from the Manson family, to actually stab her in the stomach. I thought was very brutal.
I did too.
And the cops got there quick.
Yeah, they got there really quick.
Shot both of those idiots, but I thought that was like a very creepy, scary scene because everybody can relate to some scumbags breaking into their house or being afraid of people breaking into their house and stabbing me in my stomach. If they stab me in my stomach, I'm done. I'll bleed out. All right, moment number 2.
Moment number 2. You remember the elevator scene?
Yes.
Where she's like being chased by, and like the scene where she's like running up the stairs and the little devil lamb, or what is it, a lamb or a goat thing? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I really don't know.
It's like chasing her.
Well, okay, I can tell right away with you. Yours are going to be like the scariest moments in the movie.
Yeah.
What's your number 3?
The part. It's another scary. It's not scary, but like
no jump scene.
Yeah, when she what's her name? Mia opens the door and it's the preacher, but he's like demonic or whatever.
Yes,
he's like may God have mercy on your soul. I thought that was cool.
Why doesn't the doll, why do all the demons in all these horror movies, why do the demons pretend to be or say that they're little kids? Is it because they're trying to trick the characters? Like this one, Annabelle Higgins is supposed to be a little girl. We know it's not a little girl. We know it's a demon.
Yeah.
So I guess they're just, trying to manipulate us because they know everybody has a soft spot for kids. I wonder if a demon has ever tried that with a pedophile, and then the pedophile like just tears the.
I don't think that's ever happened. You remember when she's looking under the door and the doll falls?
Because you just told me that the scariest, one of the third best, was when shows up at your house and you get scared.
Edit. I never said that either.
Number 4.
I never said that.
Number 4. And we've got you on record. Number 4.
Okay.
You okay?
No, call me off guard.
Number 4.
Okay, you remember the scene where Mia's looking under the door and then the doll, this is not the on the list, but this is context to it. Then the doll falls.
Yes.
And you see its eyes.
Mm-hmm.
The scene right after, I think the baby's not gone. It's still there. But the doll's like sitting there. It starts standing up. Then it like floats. And then you see the little demon face behind it.
Yes.
That's it. That's what I wrote down.
I always wondered, in Ghostbusters 2, the ghosts are trying to get Sigourney Weaver's baby. And Vigo sends that guy on the bicycle to get the baby. And then the baby is sort of like just standing up. It's a baby that can't walk yet. The baby's sort of just standing up on the ledge of the building.
Yeah.
Always creep me out. I don't know why. Number 1?
Number 1. My last moment is, it's not a great scene, but I threw this in last minute because I couldn't think of anything else.
That's pretty bad when you can't get 5 things out of a movie. You really didn't like this movie.
No, I really didn't. For me, it was hard to get through. I really didn't enjoy it.
I should have gave you a different movie. I never would have figured Annabelle would have been. I like these movies, Noah. I really do.
It's not like I hated it or nothing, but like, I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I guess I'm in the middle. I sort of enjoyed it, but I didn't love it.
What could they have done different before you get to your last one? What could they have done different?
I told you earlier, it's not scary to me. Like, if it was,
how do they make it scarier?
I mean, I thought the doll itself would be scarier, but it wasn't.
Are you really this depressed that the doll didn't move, chase people, and do like Chucky?
Well, I had never seen any of the Annabelle movies up until this, and I thought, obviously, I didn't think it was going to be like Chucky because, Chucky moves around. I thought Annabelle was going to move around and do stuff. Not slaughter people, of course, but like, I think it could have been better.
Well, I think it's scarier the way that it is because even Chucky comes running at you. You could punt that little guy away 30 yards away from you every time he tries to come get you. With Annabelle just sitting there, it's like you've put a Wi-Fi down in the middle of the house that conducts supernatural stuff. So you really just got to get rid of that doll, and all the supernatural stuff that's radiating off that doll won't let you get to the doll. So I think that's way scarier than anything else.
Remind me, when they got rid of the doll, remember he put it in the garbage?
Yeah.
How did it come back?
It hopped back into the. That's the how in the movie. And I'm not talking about Native Americans saying how.
It got back in the box.
Yeah, somehow it got in the moving truck and ended up back with them.
And that's the biggest.
Yeah,
question.
That's the reason you got to burn it. You got to take it outside. You got to set it on fire, or it becomes like a Hereditary situation. You ever seen Hereditary?
I've been wanting to watch it. I haven't seen it.
Okay, so I don't want to spoil it for you or anything.
I don't know.
But there's a scene in it where you go, "Oh no!" because they're trying to do something. So I won't ruin it for you. Anyway, let's get to your top moment.
No, I mean it's not my top moment. Like I said, I threw it in here.
Moment.
I threw it in here last minute.
Top moment. Your favorite part of the movie was?
I'm trying to think. The preacher's got the doll.
Yes.
Then he goes to the church.
Yes.
What happens? Then the woman standing behind him.
Yes.
And then he goes flying back or something?
Yes.
And then he ends up in the hospital in the next scene. But that's the part I got written down.
Yeah, I think somebody jumped away from him real quick because he didn't want to have to be completely honest with you, Noah, I only got to see a little bit of the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I watched like 45 minutes of it this morning before I had to go to work. So I was so happy you were here to pretty much bring it along. Your dad added a couple of comments that he wanted. He wanted us to talk about, they say that Annabelle needs a soul, yet when that black lady gives up her soul, she's still possessed. So why for?
I was about to ask you about that. I mentioned that earlier in the beginning, the soul thing, and then you called me racist.
That's day 20. Noah, if you had to give this thing a rating between 1 and 10, 10 being a movie can't get any better. It's the Portnoy scale. A movie cannot be any better, so there should never be a 10 movie. What is your rating for Annabelle 2014?
I'm going to go right in the middle and give it 5.
5 out of 10, I think, is a good number for Annabelle. Day 20. Thanks, Noah. Appreciate you being here helping me. I need all the help I can get.
No problem.
Thank you for joining me, even though you look like you didn't have a very good time. I wish you'd have smiled more. I wish you'd have been less. And we got 11 days. I'm going to ask you like I ask Tim all the time. Will I make it to the 31st without missing a day?
Yes.
That's the kind of...
I think you will.
Thank you. See you later, buddy.